Hello, welcome to Soil Science 455 for fall 2023. And for those of you who are graduate students, welcome to Soil Science 592, the companion graduate course. My name is Mike Mullen. I'm professor of soil biology and biochemistry here at NC State in the Department of Crops and Soil Sciences. And it's my pleasure to be able to spend the fall semester with you all as we explore soils, environmental quality, and global challenges. I'll just tell you a little bit about myself because I'm going to ask you to tell me about yourselves in one of the assignments this week. I'm originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I went to Purdue University for my bachelor's and master's. I received the bachelor degree in natural resources and environmental sciences in 1981 and the Master of Science in soil biochemistry in 1984. After I finished that master's degree, my wife and I loaded up our son and we moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I then pursued the PhD in soil microbiology, graduating in 1987. After that, I worked at the University of Arkansas for 2 years on a postdoctoral research position. And then I spent 13 years at the University of Tennessee, where I taught everything from introductory soils to PhD level soil biogeochemistry. So I taught a lot during that time period. And in 2002, the University of Kentucky recruited me to join them to help provide leadership for their undergraduate programs. And I did that. And 2 years later, I ended up as an associate dean in the College of Agriculture there. And then after 3 years, I became an associate provost for undergraduate education. In 2012, North Carolina State came knocking, and I ended up coming here in 2012 to serve as the inaugural vice chancellor and dean for the Division of Academic and Student Affairs. And I did that for a total of 7 years. And in 2019, then I returned to the faculty in order to teach for the last couple of years of my time as a professional soil scientist. I took phased retirement in July of 2022, and I moved to Maryland with my wife so that we could be near our son, daughter-in-law, and two grandsons. And it's been a great experience. I'm now on phased retirement. I teach a couple of online classes, and I do administrative work as the director of graduate programs for soil sciences. So that's a little bit about me. Now let's start talking a little bit about the class. Your first assignment this week was to come to the Start Here section, which I had indicated in the welcome letter that I sent out. And the Start Here section really is an opportunity for you to familiarize yourself with how the class operates. Before I move down into that section, I thought I just wanted to point out that at the very top of the Moodle site is a link to the Yellow Dig community portal, and I'll spend more time talking about that in just a little bit. And there's also a link to an announcements forum. And so anytime there are issues or information that I need to share with the entire class, I will post it there in the announcements forum, and you will simultaneously receive an email about that issue. But you can always look in the announcements forum to see current and past announcements. I also have office hours on Wednesdays from 10 to 11 via Zoom. If you can't come at 10 or 11 and you need to talk to me, send me an email. We'll set up a Zoom for another time. So that works out just fine. On the left, you can see the navigation menu, and you can scroll up and down to look at the various modules. If you want to not look at that, you can click on the little X, and that whole column will disappear. Probably won't want to do that very often. And then on the right is the right column is where you can find a number of resources about the course, whether it's about me, calendar updates on due dates, and so forth. And you can close that by clicking on the X as well. So let's move on to a little more detail. As you come into the Start Here section, you'll see a list of things that you should be doing. You are watching the course welcome and video tour right now. So that eventually will show as being done. I set a timeline for this Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. to finish that up. You should look at the course syllabus between now and Wednesday at 11:59 so that that shows as being done. But let's first start with reviewing the course map. The course map is a visual representation of how a course is structured and what you are expected to be able to do after completing the course. And so you'll see two tables here. The first is the course learning outcomes, and you'll see that there are 7 major course learning outcomes for the entire semester. And I'm not going to read all of these, but for instance, I want you to be able to connect complex issues of global grand challenges with societal sustainability, including environmental justice issues. And in terms of your semester project, goals 5 and 6 come into play here. Prepare an overview of a technical environmental issue to include recommendations how to approach the problem, and communicate technical information to general audiences in oral, written, and digital formats. So take a look at these. You can see these broad overarching course learning outcomes in the course map at any time. If you scroll on down past the table 1, you'll come to table 2, which is where you'll find module learning outcomes. And here you'll find all of the modules listed and the learning outcomes for the individual modules. So for instance, in the foundations module, module 1, I have this one where it says discuss the importance of the UN Sustainable Development Goals as a framework for sustainability and environmental action. You should be able to do that through watching the module video. I've provided the slide set as well. And then there are 3 articles posted. And then when you've finished these learning activities, you should be then able to complete homework 1. In this case, after you complete module 2, because homework 1 will be covering modules 1 and 2. And you should be participating in the Yellow Dig community by posting your ideas or interesting posts, responding to other students and to me as I post as well. Well, then there's the link to the course syllabus, which serves as the contract for the course. And so you should familiarize yourself with the course syllabus. There is a quiz over this module, and you'll have the opportunity to dig into the syllabus just a little bit because of that. Here's the top of the course syllabus. You can see you could go to any of the major sections. Let's go down to course assessments and grading. And I'll just show you here the part of that shows the activities for the semester. What you are doing now is orientation activities is worth 1%. I weight the entire semester as opposed to having point totals. There are 10 homework assignments at 5% each, and that will result in 50% of your course grade. Participation on the Yellow Dig platform is worth 12% of your total grade, and you all will do a semester project worth 25%. And there is a final exam, and it's more of a reflection than it is a comprehensive final, in that I want you to be able to integrate what you've been learning and thinking about during the course of the semester. Below that table in the syllabus, you will see a series of course assessment summaries where I just simply tell you a little bit about each of the assignments. Specifics on those assignments will be in the appropriate modules or sections on the course. There is a relatively long section on the Yellow Dig community, and I just want you to get used to this idea that we're going to be having a lot of conversations even though this is an online asynchronous course. This is a platform where you earn points for your participation. And each week you can earn up to 1,000 points for a total of 13,000 points in the semester. And if you fall behind in 1 week or even 2 weeks, you can earn up to 250 extra points in another week. So you can make good headway towards those 13,000 points. As I said, this is worth 12% of the grade. You will not see this progress in the grade book until the end of the semester. However, you'll always be able to see your progress in the Yellow Dig portal. And at the end of the semester, then a grade of 0 to 1 would be visible, and it will be proportional to your total points in the Yellow Dig. For example, if you ended up with 10,280 points out of the total of 13,000, then the posted grade would be a 0.79, and which is 79% of the total points. And then that would scale that total of 12% available to a 9.5%. So that's how the Yellow Dig platform will work mechanistically. And there's a separate video for you to look at that will show how to use it. You should take a look at the course schedule. And here you'll see table 1 has the weeks and the modules listed by title, and then due dates. And due dates are pretty simple. Every module has a homework, except for modules 1 and 2 have a homework for both of them. Due dates are, with only one exception, the Thursday of the week after we finish a module. So for instance, for module 3, homework 2 is due on September 14th, which is the Thursday after we complete that module. There's another table there that gives the due dates for the semester project. There are several activities that you need to complete during the course of the semester, and these will all be outlined in the semester project section of the course. But you will be submitting to me a description, an overview of what it is that you're going to cover, and that's going to be due on October 20th. By November 10th, I want to see a draft of your paper, as well as your presentation slides, because the following week, November 13th through 17th, you will be presenting an overview of your research to the entire class, and that's worth 25%. And then by the last day of classes, I would expect to receive your final paper. We will meet at least twice face-to-face during this week of November 13th to 17th, and I will arrange that in the next week or so that you can put it on your calendars. I mentioned the Yellow Dig community portal. Again, it's at the top of the Moodle site. You would click on this particular link to go there. And so let's simulate that here. When you enter, you would see this particular screen. There is a post there right now that talks a little bit about how to participate. I should point out that if you go to the Yellow Dig section of the Moodle site, navigate over on the left-hand side, you will find a separate video that I made that goes into detail about how to use this site. So I'm not going to go into that detail here, but you will always be able to monitor your progress right here on the screen. And you will also be able to click on this show details and get a very detailed breakout of your interactions and point accumulations during the course of the semester. But please do look at the separate video regarding Yellow Dig, as that will be much more informative than I have time to cover right now. Within any given module, you will see that we have a listing of learning outcomes. So for Module 3, Soils and Environmental Policy, I have put here a number of things. One of those is describe the important aspects of the following U.S. environmental policies, like the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, and so forth. So these are things that you should be able to do by the end of that week and by the end of the time you finish the homework. Student task list, you're going to view the lecture video, read the articles, interact in the Yellow Dig community, and complete the problem set no later than September 14th. Here in the instructional materials, you can see the lecture video. You can see a link to a PDF set of slides, and you will see all of the readings that I have assigned for that particular module listed here under instructional materials and learning activities. As you scroll on further, you'll see there's an assessment section, and this is where you'll find links to homework assignments during the semester. You would not find the link to the semester project there. That would actually be in a separate section on the left-hand side. I also tend to include additional resources for all the modules that are interesting resources or supplemental information that you can use as you work on projects in this class or perhaps in other classes. So that's a quick overview of Soil Science 455. I hope that you have found this useful. If you have questions, just feel free to post them in the questions or answers section of the Yellow Dig community portal, and we will try to answer your questions there. I'll see you in class. Take care. Bye.